High-end editing has a philosophy underpinning it. It has structural foundations that are often invisible to the naked eye, and one that is impossible to bypass if we want to create powerful and captivating work is authenticity. Authenticity comes from filtering the chaos of the raw footage into a tightly structured narrative, like it was planned this way from the start. It's how we create something that feels unbelievably real to our audience. Authenticity is at the heart of every viewing you have with a client. Now, we create it on the timeline by multiple factors, and front and center amongst them is how we let our characters talk to the audience. If the communication between the character and the audience does not sound real or sounds contrived or constructed in any way, an invisible bubble of belief gets popped and our viewers go elsewhere. So in this episode, I'm going to take you through all of the factors at play so that you can create beautifully designed and emotional dialogue in your scenes. I'm Paddy Bird, and this is Inside the Edit. One of the core fundamental skills in this character communication is the ability to retime dialogue. Now, I cannot tell you how important this factor is when designing powerful and compelling scenes. In this episode, we're going to get into the mechanics of what this skill is, how it works, and how you can use it to devastating effect. We go way beyond removing the ums and the ers, tightening phrases, or cutting down long-winded waffle into something digestible. These are all fair points. If we want to operate at the highest level of the craft, there's something much deeper going on, something far more invisible and far more potent in shaping your audience's emotional experience. It's not just what your characters say, it's how they say it, and more importantly, how we craft their rhythm. Now here's the cold truth. The chance of your contributor delivering their thoughts in the exact rhythm, timing, and dramatic pace that your scene needs is basically zero. Most everyday viewers don't realize this at all. People don't speak in edited rhythm. They speak in real-time rhythm. It's messy, it's inconsistent, and it's emotionally erratic. Their speech is shaped by memory recall, nerves, emotion, cognitive load, even their caffeine intake that they've had that day. The result is dialogue that can feel too fast, too slow, or simply too flat for the emotional journey that we're building in our scene. But you're not a stenographer. You're not there to transcribe what was said. You're there to shape it, craft it, and retime it to perfection. So how do we actually start doing this? Now, there are two core skills in this game: compress and decompress. If the character is talking too slow, you compress. You pull time out. Shorten the pauses between the words, the sentences, and the phrases. You tighten the air. You remove the drag. If the character's talking too fast, you decompress. You add time. You insert space between words and sentences. Let the meaning breathe. Give the audience time to process. And it's not just about fast or slow. It's about drama, emotion, and tension. The wrong pace can destroy an otherwise great performance. The right one can elevate a mediocre delivery into something resonant, moving, and unforgettable. So here's where most inexperienced editors go wrong. They treat pacing like a global switch. This person talks too slow, I'll speed them up. Or they talk too fast, I'll slow them down, as if they're one static setting the whole way through. But human beings don't work like that. In a single minute of interview footage, Someone might start slow when they're thinking, speed up when they get excited, and then stumble when recalling a detail. Then pause as emotion hits them. Their rhythm changes constantly. So our job as editors is not to apply a blanket pacing decision. It's about monitoring the pacing and the delivery moment by moment and adjusting accordingly. We're shaping micro rhythms, sculpting breath and controlling the space in between each sentence, phrase, and word. This is fine cutting, and it's where the real editing starts after you've blocked out your rough cut. A common myth is that rhythm comes from the contributor, from the interview subject, that they delivered that line well or have good timing. Yes, sometimes they do, but that's not where professional rhythm comes from. Rhythm is not found, it's made by you. Think about it. What contributes to the pacing of a scene? The music you choose, the pacing of your cuts, the energy of your B-roll, the motion of vehicles, hands, faces, eyes, transitions, the flow of sound design and ambient textures. Every single element of that timeline contributes to a unified, dramatic rhythm. And the dialogue, the very core of how meaning is delivered, has to fit that rhythm like a musical instrument in an orchestra. If the character is out of sync with everything else, talking too fast while everything else is moving slow, or too slow while everything else is charging forward, it jars. It pulls the audience out. The emotional thread breaks. That's when retiming is non-negotiable. Now, some editors flinch when they first encounter this idea. Isn't that manipulating what they said? Aren't I changing their meaning? No, you're not changing their meaning. You're refining their delivery within a dramatic structure. You're not adding or removing words. You're controlling the pacing of how these words land. Now, imagine a theatre director telling an actor to pause longer before a line or to speed up a monologue for energy. Is that dishonest? No, it's directing. You're doing the same thing, but on a timeline. You are directing rhythm in the edit suite. So, how do we get good at this? Let's go through the list. Number 1, listen with a composer's ear. Start listening to the interview dialogue like it's music. Where's the beat? Where's the drag? Where's the crescendo? Does the meaning land with power or does it fall flat? Number 2, identify the emotional purpose of the scene. Are you trying to build suspense, create intimacy, drive energy, make us reflect? Your emotional goal determines your rhythm. The same sentence can play dramatically different depending on the pacing we choose. Number 3, cut for meaning, then cut for rhythm. Always start with structure. Get the content tight and logical. Then, and only then, shape the timing. Rhythm is meaningless without structure, but structure without rhythm is lifeless. Number 4, use natural room tone and wild tracks to retime effectively. Now we're going to need to mask our cuts, build a library of clean room tone, use Atmos creatively, pull breath and pauses from other parts of the interview. Seamless audio edits are the invisible glue. Number 5, watch the performance, not just the waveform. Don't just cut with your ears. Watch their face, watch their eyes, watch their facial tension, the micro expressions and blinks. They all give clues to underlying emotion. Your retime delivery needs to sync with the visual performance, or it breaks. One of the things I really struggled with when trying to break into high-end editing was learning the language used in professional edit suites. Learning all of the terminology really does help when shaping your mind for every stage of the creative editing process. And that's why I created this for you. It's a beautifully designed film poster that I call the periodic table of editing terminology. 50 of the most used creative terms you'll ever hear in a pro edit suite. You can print it out and put it up on the wall of your cutting room or keep it as a screensaver. Just click on the link in the description below, head on over to insidetheedit.com and download it right now. Memorize every single one and you'll start sounding like a high-end editor very quickly. You simply can't work on high-end documentaries, drama docs, or cinematic factual if you're not thinking about rhythm. The best editors don't just clean up dialogue, they sculpt it, they direct it, they choreograph it, they retime for dramatic effect. This is not a technical trick, it's a creative superpower, one that will instantly raise the emotional resonance of your work and separate you from the amateur and intermediate crowd. Retiming dialogue is one of the most subtle yet powerful skills in our editing toolkit. And like any fine art, it takes time to master. But once you learn to hear pacing like a musician, shape it like a sculptor, and direct it like a filmmaker, you'll never look at raw interview footage the same way again. The raw material may have come from our characters, but the rhythm, that's you. You create magnetic authenticity on the timeline, and the effects are incredibly powerful. Thank you for your kind attention, dear friend. I'm Paddy Bird, and this is Inside the Edit.